All right, we're here on, what did I say, module 12, I think, with Ashley and Andrew, and we're just trying to finish up the part of the training that is about the CRM. So today we're going to, in modules 9, 10, and 11, which forgive me, I got the names wrong in the last couple sessions, we talked about the back end of the search engine. So we're going to go right now to that same back end, which is manage.firepoint.net. You should have your login all done and be able to get to this section titled leads or your dashboard. And so just to review, if we click on dashboard, if you guys have dashboard up, the four boxes kind of at the top are leads with no tasks assigned to you, leads with no saved searches, leads with status new, and leads not viewed. We want to get those down to 0 or as close to 0 as possible. The My Tasks section is the section that when you add a future to-do or an alert to like a lead, it's going to populate that and it's going to become due today or overdue if you don't get to it. And then those tasks will populate right there. So when you get in to do your lead follow-up in the morning, that's one of the first things you'll do is see what tasks you have due today, which are tasks that you set for yourself in a previous date. But you'll know that you have people to call or text or email or follow up with based upon those things. One thing to keep in mind is it's kind of frustrating right now, and we're trying to get FirePoint to fix it, is I showed you last time how to go into under my account and do like a select all of the old leads that maybe nobody got in touch with and do a mass transfer to Mojo Dialer. We just touched on that briefly. And you can click on that and it says transfer to Mojo, which we'll cover that again today. That's a really good way to make be really efficient with your time. It's kind of a lot of clicking when you do it manually. So if you go to the My Tasks section, you might not have any tasks, due in your profile. But on mine, my first task it says John Cameron, and so in order to call or text or email him, I have to click on him and it opens a window, and then I got to click again to do a call, and then it pings my phone, and then my phone calls through the system to John, which records the call in John's in the activity feed. If I want to text him, I just hit in the window, I just hit text message. That opens another window, and then I can click his number and jot a text or use a template that's already there it'll populate the text for me. And to do an email, I do the same thing. I click email and I can type an email or use a template. And that whole process to do a call and a text, say to John, might take me, a minute to go in and kind of do that, and then I'm done. And if I have right now, it says 33 overdue tasks, which it shouldn't say that under yours, but for these old leads, there's a bunch of overdue tasks. If I want to go through, it's going to take me, manually a lot of time to do one at a time. What we hope to be able to do at some point is just click on the overdue part at the top and do a mass select and transfer all those to the dialer, and it'll be much more efficient. So I would say like that process is one of the more time-consuming process of our follow-up system, is having to do that manually. So look for that in the future. Hopefully they'll have that fixed. So that's a little bit about the dashboard. Just to recap, if you go to the leads section, I don't know, do you guys have any leads created in there? If you do, you can click on a lead, one that you created, and it is going to open up another window. And just to recap, you have under the lead title, you have the status, which might say new or unknown or nurture or one of those statuses, or inactive, and then under that you have the phone number, which you can click on and it'll call your phone, and then it'll call the person. It has an email address under that, and you can click on that to send them an email right away. It has a tag under that, which you can pick which tag it is depending on the status that you select. And it tells you exactly where they are in your pipeline and how often you should connect with them. The activities and tasks, if you click on that, that opens the activity feed, which will have a complete history of every time they've been in the system, everybody who's talked to them or messaged them. Contact details opens up, all of their detail, and you can edit that by clicking on the pencil, and you can change their contact information, or put a warning in there, which a pronunciation of their name, or don't show them ranch houses or something. And then below that, of course, you have the email, the text messages, the campaigns, which we talked about. Campaigns are, you can add a campaign, which is an automated checklist, which a campaign can either can dump tasks for you to do. So you could manually put a to-do or an alert for the system to remind you to call them in 15 days. Or you could apply a campaign, which might have 20 to-dos that the system will tell you to do over the next year. So a campaign is just a bunch of to-dos as opposed to manually setting one. And it's a pre-built thing where it might be a checklist that has 10 to-dos where the system will remind you to do something, but it might have intermixed with those the system sending them automatic emails, right? And so a campaign can be all emails sent to the person, or a bunch of tasks or to-dos that'll tell you to do something manually to the person, like send text, send call, send email, or it could be both. And so there's about 20 campaigns that are built into the system, which you can select. The two that we use almost exclusively are, one is called the new Internet Inquiry Campaign. It's called a 10-day campaign. And that is automatically applied when a new lead comes in. And that campaign tells you to do certain things in the first 10 days that lead. And so that's where it has 12 tasks built into it. That as soon as a lead comes in, tasks show up on your dashboard. You have all these things to do and future to-dos for this lead. Intermixed in those to-dos or those alerts are emails that the client will just get from you. It literally, you're not even sending them, but it says, hey, this is Andrew again from Dave Hooke team. Are you still searching for homes in South Central PA? Right? So key point here, because those are going out, if you connect with that lead in that 10 days and they're like, yeah, great, let's look at a house, you want to stop that campaign, or else they're going to get an email in 2 days that says, hey, this is Andrew. You looking for homes in South Central PA? Right? So we'll cover that again, but campaigns, there's two that we use. One gets automatically assigned, and it just tells you to do stuff and sends emails to these people. The hope is to get them to engage. You can let that ride out if they never engage, and it'll automatically turn off after 10 days, or you can shut it off manually if you connect with them. The second one we use is called the long-term, the buyer 15-month campaign. And if they connect with you or they don't connect with you and you just know they're going to be a cold lead and you're not going to engage with them, you'll pop a 15-month on them, and then the system will email them every 2 weeks and keep you guys in front of them, in case they change their mind or something. So that's a little bit about campaigns. Searching is under campaigns, and searching is important because every lead that comes in, one of the first things we want to do is set up a search. So even if it's there's no criteria, send them listings any price range in South Central PA. I don't even care. Okay. Just send them something, because the point isn't, at this point in the process, you're not setting up a search to send them properties they're going to buy. You're setting up a search to keep your face in front of them every night, because there's 5 agents contacting them at this point. Very few of them have the technology we do. And so you're kind of capitalizing on a lot of ways, so that if they're getting bombarded with a bunch of calls, you're the one that they may have recognized your name. They don't even know why, but it has to do with the fact that the system auto-texted them the moment they came in with your name and said, hey, welcome to our site. This is Andrew with the Dave Hooke team. I'll be following up with you in the next 24 hours, with some property information. So they see your name there, and then it sends them an auto email. And then you've set a search for them, all property. And so every night they've been seeing your name. And all of a sudden, and you've been calling them, and they haven't been picking up. And then on day 5, you call them, and they happen to be driving home from work. And they're like, yeah, I've been getting call bothers. And they're like, who is this again? You're like, it's Andrew. oh, Andrew, I think I remember talking to you. And so it's just the purpose of that search isn't to find them a property at this point. It's just to keep your face in front of them. Then once you connect with them and get permission and turn them into a nurture and take them off the status of unknown and potentially cold, and you pop them down into a nurture and put a C or a B or an A on them, that point they've asked you to serve them. And so now you're gonna say, hey, let me tighten up your criteria, make sure you're getting properties that really suit your needs. What price range are you looking for again? Now you're really listening. Why are you moving again? What's important to you about is it school district? And so now you're going in and really tweaking the search so that they're getting properties that they appreciate. And then you're following up with them saying, hey, did you get that property? Came on the market yesterday, right? And now you're kind of their realtor, maybe not committed yet, but you're working towards that, right? Mm-hmm. Those are the main tags in the back end of the system, right? Contact information, phone number, email, tag, activities and tasks, email, text messages, campaigns, and searches.
Under contact details, there's a star by the email and the phone number. Does that mean anything?
So Ashley's question was, under contact and details, there's a star by the phone number and the email. And that means that it's their primary.
Okay.
If you hover over that, when you open up the contact details, the word primary will come up there. I'll show you what that's for. Any other questions on that? All good questions? Mm-hmm. All right, cool. So let's just go into the other tab that I gave you, which is viewcentralpahouses.com. So when you send a link to someone, which is viewcentralpahouses/Andrew or /Ashley, that's in your settings in your profile. This is what they're going to come to, right? And it's going to automatically assign them to you so they don't get routed per the OT agent who's on OT. If they just come to our website, viewcentralpahouses.com, this is what they're going to come to. There's a couple ways they could come to our website. They could search for my team specifically, and they could find our website kind of organically. But another way they could come to our website is by you sending, hey, log onto our website. Zillow is one way to get houses, but we have this really cool site that you can get houses on, and so you could send it to them. Or another way they could do it is by a pay-per-click ad. And are you guys familiar with pay-per-click ads? No?
No, I've heard you talk about it.
Okay, cool. So a lot of people think I'm saying paperclip, and I'm not saying paperclip. It is pay-per-click. And what that means is if you go to open up another browser, and I just want you to go to google.com, or if Bing or Google is your default browser, and you just typed a search into the address at the top, you might have searched for houses in Carlisle or houses in Bowling Springs. And so we're just going to do that in the Google search engine. Just write real estate in Carlisle, PA, and hit enter. And you'll see what's the second URL in your search, Ashley?
You said real estate in Carlisle, right?
Yep.
It is the second search?
Yep.
www.realtor.com/Carlisle.
Okay.
Real estate.
And Andrew?
I have BHGRE.
Okay, cool. And I want you guys both to come over here behind the camera and look at mine real quick. Yeah, watch this cords.
Yeah, right? I'll take it out.
So I got lucky. So you can see my second one was viewcentralpahouses.com. So that was our site. So it's possible the newest homes on market might catch somebody's attention, and they might click on that. And what would happen if they clicked on that? They would come right here, right? And so they're automatically brought into our search engine. You can see up here, this is our site. So it's the same options as this,
Mhm.
right? It's immediately giving the user what they want. So if they came here, there's a good bit going on here. What they searched for was houses in Carlisle. What came up? Houses in Carlisle right away. And so the system's set up so that they are getting exactly what they want. And let's just say they liked this house. And let's say they could request more information, and it auto-populates their information. They would request info. And does anybody know where that would go? They requested info? Yep. It would go to the agent on OT, right? And so let's say they didn't request info because that felt difficult for them. They clicked through and they clicked on this picture and they clicked on this, another picture. And then they went and returned a search. And then they clicked on this one. It's not doing it for me because I'm already in the system. But for a new user on their third click, so it's going to let them browse around a little bit. On the third click, this is going to come up as a window. And it's just going to say to keep searching for free. Register your information. And it's going to ask for their name, their email, their phone, and like one or two other questions about their home search. And then what's going to happen is if you look in office settings, this is a part that you can't see in your user interface, but under lead distribution, our team's OT schedule for today says that Chrissy is on OT. And in our back end, from 2 a.m. to 2 p.m., our lead routing is saying that all these sources, including FirePoint pay-per-click, are going to Chrissy on Wednesday from 2 a.m. to 2 p.m., just like our OT calendar says that she's on OT. And so when that user clicks on there and it populates and requires them to put some information in there, Chrissy, in her leads section, just like you were looking at your leads section, is going to have a new lead pop up. And it's going to, because she has her notifications over here set to when a lead is assigned to you, she'll have probably an email and a text set. She'll get a text on her phone that says a new lead is assigned to her. And then because she's on OT, in 5 minutes or less, she'll be responsible for just entering into the FirePoint application on her phone, which is right here for the people watching this. And it'll open up and she'll see the new lead and she'll just click on it and she'll call them, right? And she'll say, hey, this is Chrissy. I see you just registered on our website, viewcentralpahouses.com. Are you finding what you're looking for? Right? And they'll be like, oh, I just registered on it. That's weird. And she'll be like, yeah, we just like to stay on top of things and make sure you're getting a great user experience on our site. What brings you to our website today? So again, just acknowledge their response and write into open-ended questions, right? And then they might not want to talk to her, and she might work on that a little bit with some other questions, or they might talk to her, and she can maybe develop a nurture out of that lead, right? Does that make sense?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, cool. You can go back. So if you are back onto, so that's where a user could go. If you're back to viewcentralpahouses.com, just know that if a user hit the home screen or any of the like the options at the top, it'll take them to the main search and it'll take them to any of those options. So I just want to explore the site a little bit with you. So if you in the search, it says search for address. I just want you to type in like Carlisle, PA. Excuse me, I got something in my throat. Let me get a drink of water. VSNPAhouses.com. All right. So what did you just type in there?
Carlisle, PA.
All right, did anything come up?
Mine doesn't come up.
Is yours coming up, Ashley?
I had a house come up one result, but then it says view your search results, and it asks me to enter my first, last name, email, and phone number.
Okay, there you go. So that's what it's going to do. It's going to ask in order to view, it's going to ask you to do that, and then when you do that, it's going to take you into the site. For some reason, mine actually didn't populate with houses either. So I don't know if there's a glitch. Did yours populate, Andrew?
No, it did.
Now it did?
Yep, I got the one house as well.
I wonder why there's only one house.
But I did it twice though, and the very first search I did popped up a different house. The second time, it was a completely different one. Yeah.
I'll type in Boiling Springs, PA, and just see what happens. Okay, there we go. So type in Boiling Springs. PA. I got 37 results for that. All right, and so again, if they just go from the front end of the site, it'll take them to what you saw when you were looking at my screen, and then if they click on a house, it's going to ask them to register. Just a couple other things, like you can click on Our Homes at the top. That's just going to be our listings. You should have 34 results. So those are my team's listings. You guys tracking with me?
Mm-hmm. If we get that box with where we have to register, what do we do?
Yeah, you don't have to do it.
Okay.
You can actually. You can.
You
can test our agents.
Just do it.
Yeah, do it. See if anybody.
See if they call us.
Mm-hmm. Who's on OT? We'll test them. So for the viewers watching, we are testing Chrissy Copeland. Now,
should we both do it or just one?
What's that?
Should we both do it or just one?
You could both do it. Chrissy's going to be interesting because I'm looking at the buyer appointment calendar right now.
Let me get my phone out.
And Chrissy is at a showing appointment. So this is a great example of how hard this job is. Chrissy is literally, I'm bringing it up on the calendar so that you people watching can see. It says showing appointment, James Gray. Her initials, Chrissy Copeland is the agent. The buyer is Dave SOI, coded 501. It is a gimme. She's at the house right now. Her showing started 13 minutes ago at 11:15. And we have two new agents registering on our site. And who knows what's going to happen. So Chrissy has 5 minutes to respond. So long story short, you'll see all those results. You guys got your phones out in case she calls you. I don't know if she'll call you or not. It'd be interesting. If you go to real estate insider real estate tips, you should say it should take you to davehookerealestate.com. It'll probably ask you to join our VIP list. If you scroll down, you should see a video that says what is changing in our local market. 3 reasons your home isn't selling. 6 comments. So these are just blog videos that I do, and if you click on those, it'll take you to a video.
I have a weird phone number. Is that her?
See if you can answer. I'm not sure.
Hello? Yes, this is her. I am doing well.
Hey, Chrissy Copeland, it's Dave. So we tricked you. So I was doing a training, and I told him you'd be really mad at me because I said we were training on the back end of our website, and we were looking at pay-per-click leads and how they work, and a bubble came up and it forced Ashley to register, and I was like, this is going to be really bad because Chrissy's in an appointment right now and you're registering on the site, and I was like, I don't know if she's going to call or not. So you did really, really well. So great job. They got to see exactly how it works. Yep. All right. I'll let you get back to your showing.
Bye.
See ya.
Okay.
No, she's probably good. I probably should have told her not to call you because
Probably.
yeah, maybe she'll know.
Maybe she'll see.
She might see.
What is the name? Yeah, I got an email too from her.
Yeah. So that email you got is the auto email
Okay.
that the system sends as soon as you register on our site.
Okay.
Okay. So that's a little bit about our. That took you to a new browser, but our video blog is something I do 2 videos a month. They go out to about 10,000 people. If you go back to the other browser and you can click on like, there's I won't take you to all of them, but you could just hover over those. You can get to contact. You can go to My Agent, and that'll take you to probably me, unless you've sent them to your personal URL. There's a selling your home and a what's my home worth thing there as well. So any questions on the front end of the site?
Mm-mm.
That's good.
Is this text message too automatic as well?
Yep.
Okay.
Yeah, what's it say?
Says, hi, this is Christy from DHT Realtors. I saw that you wanted more information on a property. I'll get that as quickly as I can. Do you have a moment to chat?
There you go. So Chrissy didn't send that. That is a campaign. So I told you there's a campaign that automatically populates. And so our lead management policy says that within 5 minutes, the consumer needs to get a text, an email, and a call. Different people respond to different types of communication. Some people will not pick up the phone if it's a number they don't recognize, but they will respond to a text, right? And some people will respond to an email. Some people will pick up the phone. So what you just experienced was the air, land, and sea strategy that we use, text, call, and email. The good news is the email and the text are auto done, so that if you're in an appointment, that's going to happen. And then the call obviously is manual. Yeah. Any questions on that? Good, cool. I'm glad you guys got to see that. So that's really good. All right, I'm going to stop the recording here, and we'll go on to the next module in a minute.